On behalf of School of Engineering and Technology, I, Dr. Subhashish Maji, welcome. Today's topic is projectile. This topic is from the course Physics, that is ET 105A, and also from Engineering Mechanics. So, first of all, let us understand what do we mean by projectile. When a particle is projected in upward directions in the air with certain angle but not vertical, the particle will traces a path. That path is known as trajectory of the particle, and the particle is known as projectile. So today we will discuss much about the motion for the projectile. Here the particle is projected from this point and it will traces this path. This is known as the trajectory. And at any point during the motion, let us consider the particle is occupying this point P, whose coordinate is x, y. That means in the horizontal direction the displacement is x, and in the vertical direction the displacement is y. But you see that when a projectile is projected in the upward direction with certain angle, it will be under the actions of acceleration due to gravity. But the acceleration due to gravity acts always in the vertical direction. So the velocity component in the horizontal direction will not be affected by the acceleration due to gravity. So look at this figure again. Here you see the u is the initial velocity and it is projected at some angle theta with the horizontal. So the velocity component in the horizontal direction is u cos theta, and in the vertical direction the component of the initial velocity is u sin theta. But in the x direction the displacement is x, and here the velocity component in the horizontal direction will be unchanged, that is u cos theta. So at any moment, that is at time t, the particle is occupying this point P. So the horizontal displacement x is equal to u cos theta into t. But in the vertical direction the displacement y is u sin theta t minus half gt square. So here there are two equations, and we have considered the motion of the particle in two directions. One is in the horizontal direction, where the velocity component u cos theta is constant. That's why x is equal to u cos theta into t. And the motion in the vertical direction, that is y, is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square. Look at this figure. So the motion in horizontal direction, x is equal to u cos theta into t, and the motion in vertical direction is y is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square. So here you see that we can eliminate t from these two equations, and finally we get an equation. That equation is the parabolic equation. So the trajectory of the path is parabolic. So here you see that we will consider the equation of the trajectory. So if you take the value of t from the first equation and put the value of t, that is x divided by u cos theta, and put it in the second equation, we will get y is equal to x tan theta minus g by twice u square cos square theta x square. And this equation is the equation of a parabola. So this is an equation of a parabola. It follows that a projectile fired at some angle with the horizontal moves along a parabolic path. Now let us consider the maximum height h attained by a projectile. So considering the motion in vertical direction, so we will consider that v square is equal to u square minus 2gh. So the final top point, the velocity will be 0. So 0 is equal to u square sin square theta minus 2g h max. H max is the maximum height attained by the particle. So finally we will get the maximum height h max is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. We will consider the time of flight. So time of flight is defined as it is the time taken by the projectile to return to ground, or the time for which the particle remains in air above the horizontal plane from the point of projection. So here you see that motion in vertical direction, y is equal to u sin theta t minus half gt square. So when particle will come back to the ground, then the displacement y is equal to 0. So put y is equal to 0 and t is equal to capital T, that is the time of flight. Finally we will get the expression for the time of flight, t is equal to twice u sin theta by g. Next one is, we will consider the horizontal range. First of all, let us define what do we mean by horizontal range. When a particle is projected in the vertical direction in the air with some angle with the horizontal, definitely it will come back to the ground, and the distance covered by the projectile from the point of projection to the point where it is stopping, that horizontal distance is known as the range. So it is a range we can define that it is the distance covered by projectile along horizontal direction between the point of projection to the point on ground where the projectile returns again. So u cos theta into t, put t is equal to t, so we will get the expression for range, that is u square sin 2 theta by g. So you might have seen that while watching a cricket match, that from a long distance the player is throwing the ball at some angle so that it will attain the maximum range. So look at this expression for range, that r is equal to twice u square sin 2 theta by g. So let us try to understand in what condition or at which angle the particle will be thrown so that we will get the maximum range. My dear friend, you see that the r will be maximum for a velocity u when sin 2 theta is maximum. So sin 2 theta is equal to 1, that is the maximum value of sin 2 theta. So 2 theta is equal to 90 degree, theta is equal to 45 degree. So when the particle is projected at angle 45 degree, we will get the maximum range. So the expression for the maximum range is r max is equal to u square by 2g. Slide please. So here you see that for the maximum range we have substituted the value sin 2 theta is equal to 1. So in that condition we will get theta is equal to 45 degree. So this is the condition for the maximum range. The ball has to be thrown at an angle 45 degree so that we can get the maximum range. So r max denotes the maximum horizontal range, that is u square by 2g. So far what we have understood, what we have learned, that the path of a projectile is a parabolic. We have got the expression for the maximum height, we have got the expression for the range, we have also got the condition for which the horizontal range will be maximum. So now let us try to understand more with some numerical. So this is the first numerical on projectile. The ceiling of a long hall is 25 meter high. What is the maximum horizontal distance that a ball be thrown with a speed of 40 meter per second can go without hitting the ceiling of the hall? So first of all, we have got for this problem the height, that is 25 meter, and the velocity with which the particle is being thrown, that is 40 meter per second, and g is 9.81. So if we substitute all these values in the expression for the maximum height, that is h is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. So here h is given, u is given, g is known, so we can easily find out the angle with which the ball has been thrown. So from this expression we have got angle theta is equal to 33.6 degree. That means with this angle, with the horizontal, the particle has been thrown. So we can easily get the range, that is the distance it will cover horizontally without touching the ceiling of the hall. So here the expression for range r is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. U is known, theta is already known. So if we put the value of u and theta in this expression, so we will get the range r, that is 150.5 meter. Now let us discuss one more numerical. This is another very interesting problem, that is a ball is thrown horizontally from the top of a tower 30 meter high and lands 15 meter from its base. What is the ball's initial speed? Here you see that the ball is thrown from the top of a tower horizontally, u. So it will fall on the ground having horizontal displacement 15 meter, and in the vertical displacement, that is 30 meter. In the vertical direction, there is no initial velocity. So we can get the expression while considering the motion in the vertical direction, that is t. T is time of fall, that is under root 2 h by g. We know h, that is 15, that is given as 30 meter. So if we substitute the value of h 30 meter and g is now 9.8, so we can get the time to reach for the particle to the ground, that is 2.47 seconds. Now we have to find out the velocity with which it has been shown. So the initial velocity is u, and in the horizontal direction, as I have already explained, that in the horizontal direction the velocity will not be affected by the acceleration of gravity. So v is equal to x by t. X is given 15 meter. T we have already calculated 2.47 second. So we can easily find out the velocity v, that is x by t, that is 6.1 meter per second. Let us discuss one more problem. So the third problem is a gun fires a projectile with muzzle velocity of 300 meter per second. Find the angle of inclination so that it strikes the target situated at a horizontal distance of 400 meter and 200 meter, 4000 meter and 200 meter above it. So here we have got the expression for y, that is the expression for the path, that is parabolic path. Y is equal to x tan theta minus g divided by 2i cu square cos square theta multiplied by x square. So here you see that the y is given 200 meter, x is given 4000 meter, theta is unknown, g is known 9.81, and x square, that is 4000 meter square, twice u square, u is also given cos square theta. So in this expression you see that only theta is unknown, so we can easily solve this one, the one unknown theta, from one equation. So theta comes out to be 15.96 degree or 75.04 degree. Here you see that we have got the two values of theta. So with these two angles, if the particle is projected in the air, it will attain the same horizontal distance. Let us discuss one more problem. So this is very interesting problem where we have to calculate the range. A football is kicked on level ground at a velocity of 15 meter per second at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal. How far away is the first bounce? So here you see from this diagram, the football is kicked from this point and it will coming back to this point. So what will be the distance? So this distance is of course known as r. So r is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. U is given 15 meter per second and theta, that is 30 degree. So we can substitute the values of u and theta, and g is of course known 9.8 meter per second square. We can get range, that means this horizontal displacement when it is coming back to the ground. So r is 20 meter. So so far we have discussed the projectile motion when the ball is being thrown from a point which is on the ground, and we have also discussed how much maximum height it will attain and the horizontal range r and the condition for the maximum value of range. Now we will discuss much more about projectile, but let us try to summarize very quickly whatever we have discussed so far. So here you see that path travelled by projectile in air is parabolic, and this path is known as trajectory of the particle. The velocity with which the projectile is projected into air is known as velocity of projection. It is denoted by u. The angle with the horizontal made by the projectile when it is projected into space is known as angle of projection, and this is represented by theta. And we have also got the expression for the parabolic path, that is y is equal to x tan theta minus g divided by 2i c square cos square theta x square, and this equation is the equation of a parabola. So the equation for the path travelled by a projectile into a space is given by y is equal to x tan theta minus g divided by twice u square cos square theta x square, where x and y the coordinate of a point on the path of the projectile with respect to the point from which the projectile is projected. And we have also got the expression for the velocity. So the velocity of projection is resolved into two components, because we have discussed the motion of a projectile horizontally as well as vertically. So the horizontal component of velocity is equal to u cos theta, because the component of the velocity is making theta with the horizontal direction. So the component of velocity in the horizontal direction is u cos theta, and it will not be affected by the acceleration of gravity. But the vertical component of velocity is given by u sin theta, and it will be affected by the acceleration due to gravity, because acceleration due to gravity is always acting in the vertical direction. The horizontal component of velocity is constant during the flight of a projectile. We have also discussed the maximum height attained by a projectile, and h max is equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. Now we have also discussed about the time of flight. Time of flight is the interval of time since the projectile is projected and hits the ground again. It is denoted by capital T is equal to twice u sin theta by g. We have also discussed about the horizontal range. The expression for the horizontal range is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. And we have also discussed some numericals which can be solved easily with the help of these expressions. Now, as regards the maximum range is concerned, so the maximum range will occur when the ball is being thrown at angle 45 degree with the horizontal. The expression for R max, that is maximum horizontal range, is equal to u square by g. Of course, the time to reach the highest point is equal to half the time of flight. We shall discuss much about the projectile. So far we have discussed projectile, that is a particle is being thrown horizontally, and which is particle is being thrown from the ground with some angle with the horizontal. Now we will discuss the projectile motion on an inclined plane. So here the diagram, look at this diagram. So in this case, this is the inclined plane AB. The inclined plane AB, which is making angle beta with the horizontal. So AC line is horizontal, and this is the inclined plane, and the particle is being projected from this point, and it will follow this trajectory. This is the path of the projectile onto the horizontal, onto the inclined plane, and of course this path will also be a parabolic path, and this is the velocity with which the ball is being thrown. Here you see the particle is being thrown with the velocity u, which is making angle alpha with the horizontal. So the angle between the directions of the velocity u and the inclined plane is equal to alpha minus beta. That means alpha minus beta is this angle, because this full angle is alpha, this angle is beta, so this angle is alpha minus beta. So here we are considering the projectile on an inclined plane. So in the previous case, we have taken the component of the velocity in the two directions. One is in the horizontal direction, that is u cos theta, and the component of the initial velocity in the vertical direction we had considered as u sin theta. But in this case, we will resolve the velocity vector into two components. One will be along the inclined plane and other will be perpendicular to the inclined plane. Please look at the figure again. Here you see the inclined plane, that is angle beta, and this angle is alpha minus beta, that I had already explained. So this is the initial velocity, directions of the initial velocity u. So we can resolve this velocity vector into two directions. One is along the inclined plane and the other is perpendicular to the inclined plane. So here you see, since this angle is alpha minus beta, so the component of the velocity u along the inclined plane will be u cos alpha minus beta, and the velocity in the direction which is perpendicular to the inclined plane will be, of course, u sine alpha minus beta. Now, as regard the g is concerned, that is the acceleration due to gravity. Here we had shown in the vertical direction is minus g, because the acceleration due to gravity will be always acting in the vertical direction. In the downward direction is g, so in the upward directions we have considered as minus g. So here this angle is beta, so from geometry we can easily see that this angle is beta. So this angle is nothing but the vertical direction and the direction which is perpendicular to the inclined plane. So this is equal to beta. So the component of minus g along this direction, that is in the direction which is perpendicular to the inclined plane, will be minus g cos beta, and the component of minus g along the inclined plane will be minus g sin beta. So what we have till now, what we have discussed, we have considered the component of the velocity u along the inclined plane, that is u cos alpha minus beta, and the component of the velocity u in the direction which is perpendicular to the inclined plane, that is u sin alpha minus beta. And we had also resolved the acceleration due to gravity, that is minus g, in the upward direction into two components. One is along the inclined plane, that is minus g sin beta, and in the direction perpendicular to the inclined plane, minus g cos beta. So we will consider the projectile motion in the two directions. One is along the inclined plane and other is perpendicular to the inclined plane. So from the figure which we had discussed, that of course u is the velocity of projection, alpha is the angle of projection with the horizontal, and alpha minus beta is the angle between the inclined plane and the directions of velocity of projection. Here you see that the component of the velocity along the inclined plane is u cos alpha minus beta, and the component of velocity of projection normal to the plane is u sin alpha minus beta. Similarly, we have already discussed that the acceleration due to gravity along the plane is minus g sin beta, and acceleration due to gravity normal to the plane is minus g cos beta. So first of all, let us try to understand what do we mean by time of flight. So time of flight is the time taken from the point of projection to the point where it is dropped on the inclined plane. So let the time taken by the projectile in going from A to B is capital T. There is a time of flight. So we will consider this simple equation, that is AC is equal to ut plus half gt square. But in the direction which is perpendicular to the inclined plane, when it will come back to the inclined plane, the vertical displacement will be 0. So S will be 0, and if we substitute all these expressions in the equation S is equal to ut plus half gt square, by considering S is the distance normal to the inclined plane is 0, and the initial velocity normal to the inclined plane is u sin alpha minus beta, and acceleration part is minus g cos beta. So the time of flight t, we can get this expression, that is substituting these values in the above equation, we have got that S is 0 and u sin alpha minus beta into t plus half within bracket minus g cos beta t square. So from this expression we can find out the expression for t, that is the time of flight, that is equal to twice u sin alpha minus beta g cos beta. This is the time of flight for the projectile while considering the motion on inclined plane. Now let us try to calculate the range on the inclined plane. Here you see the range on the inclined plane. The range on the inclined plane is given by AB. To calculate the distance AB, first let us calculate AC. Hence the horizontal distance AC, that is the component of velocity of projection in the horizontal directions and the time of flight. So here you see that AC, that is in the horizontal directions, AC is equal to u cos alpha into t. T is the time of flight. We have already got the expression for the time of flight, that is twice u sin alpha minus beta g cos beta. So if you substitute the value of t, that is twice u sine alpha minus beta g cos beta in this expression, finally we shall get the expression for AC, that is twice u square cos alpha sine alpha minus beta by g cos beta. From the right angle triangle of ABC, cos beta is equal to AC by AB, and we have got AB, that is equal to AC by cos beta. We have already got the expression for AC, that comes out to be u square divided by g cos square beta 2 cos alpha sine alpha minus beta, where beta is the angle of the inclined plane and alpha is the velocity with which the ball is projected with the horizontal directions. So here we have got the range of the inclined plane, that is u square g divided g cos square beta into sine twice alpha minus beta minus sine beta. Now here we can also find out the maximum range. So the range will be maximum when sine twice alpha minus beta will be maximum. So here, as you know that the maximum value of sine is 90 degree. So when twice alpha minus beta will be 90 degree, in that case we will get the expression for the maximum range. So here you see that for a given velocity of projection u and given angle of inclined plane beta to the horizontal, the range on the inclined plane will be maximum if sine twice alpha minus beta is a maximum. But sine twice alpha minus beta will be maximum when twice alpha minus beta is 90 degree, that is alpha minus beta is equal to pi by 2 minus alpha. So here you see what is alpha minus beta. Alpha minus beta is the angle between the initial velocity and the inclined plane, that is alpha minus beta, and pi by 2 minus alpha is the angle for the vertical directions to the angle of to the velocity component. So here you see that alpha minus beta is the angle between the directions of projection and the plane, and pi by 2 minus alpha is the angle between the vertical and the directions of projection. Hence the range on the inclined plane will be maximum if the directions of projection bisects the angle between the vertical and the inclined plane. Here let us talk much about the maximum range. See that the maximum range on inclined plane is obtained by substituting twice alpha minus beta is 90 degree in this equation. So if you put sine twice alpha minus beta is 1, so we will get the expression for the maximum range R max is equal to u square by g cos square beta within bracket 1 minus sine beta. So this is the expression for the maximum range R max. Now if we can also get another expression for the maximum range, because u square 1 minus beta cos square beta we can write 1 minus sine square beta, that is equal to 1 plus sine beta 1 minus sine beta, and 1 minus sine beta 1 minus sine beta, this will cancel out. So we can get another expression for the maximum range R max is equal to u square by g 1 plus sine beta. So this is the expression for the maximum range. Now let us talk about the projectile down on an inclined plane. So here you see that previously we were throwing the ball from the point A and it is tracing the path on the inclined plane in the upward directions. But in this case here the ball is being projected from the point A, and this is the projectile down on inclined plane, that is from this point the particle is being projected and it is following this trajectory. It will come back to this point. Here you see that beta is the angle between the inclined plane to the horizontal directions, and alpha is the angle between the horizontal directions and the velocity directions of the initial velocity. So projectile down on an inclined plane, with little thought we can get the expression only by substituting beta as minus beta in all the expressions so far we have discussed projectile up on inclined plane. So here you see the time of flight, the projectile down on inclined plane. If we want to get the expression for time of flight t, that is we substitute beta as minus beta, so the time of flight comes out to be twice u sine alpha plus beta by g cos beta. Similarly, the range down the inclined plane, just substitute beta as minus beta, we will get the expression for range down on the plane, that is twice u square g cos square beta cos alpha sin alpha plus beta. Similarly, the maximum range down the inclined plane is just substitute beta as minus beta in the previous expression. So far we have derived. So that comes out to be the maximum range down the plane is u square divided by g 1 minus sin beta. And the condition for maximum range, of course, twice alpha minus beta, that is twice alpha plus beta is 90 degree. That means if this condition satisfies, that is twice alpha plus beta is 90 degree, only then we will get the maximum range on an inclined plane. Now, so far we have discussed the projectile motion on the horizontal directions and the projectile motion on inclined plane. Let us try to understand more about the projectile on an inclined plane with a simple problem. So here you see the problem is this: a particle is projected from a point on an inclined plane with a velocity of 40 meter per second. So this expression is given as the velocity u, that is 40 meter per second, initial velocity. The angle of projection and the angle of plane are 50 degree and 20 degree to the horizontal respectively. That is, inclined plane angle is 50 degree and this is the angle of projection 50 degree and the angle of plane is 20 degree. If the motion of the particle is up the plane, determine time of flight, range of the projectile up the plane, angle of projection for maximum range up the plane and maximum range up the plane. So when you calculate the time of flight, so we have already got the expression for the time of flight, we have already got the expression for the range, and all these values like initial velocity u is given, here beta is given 20 degree, alpha is given 50 degree. So there is no problem for calculating time of flight and range. So far we have discussed. So here you see that the velocity of projection, that is u, is given from this numerical, that is 40 meter per second. Angle of projection, that is alpha, is 50 degree and angle of inclined plane beta is 20 degree. Substitute all these values for the expression for time of flight as well as range, and let us see what we are getting. As regards the time of flight is concerned, let t be the time of flight using this equation t, that is twice u sin alpha minus beta g cos beta. So here u is already given, alpha beta are already given, and g is 9.8. So we can substitute the values of u, alpha and beta and get the value for the time of flight. So twice u sin alpha minus beta divided by g cos beta, put the value of u is 40 meter per second, alpha is 50 degree, beta is 20 degree and g is 9.81. So we can substitute the value of u, alpha and beta in this expression for the time of flight, and finally we will get the time of flight as 4.339 seconds. As regards the range is concerned, so we can also substitute the value of u, alpha and beta in the expression for range, that is twice u square g cos square beta cos alpha sin alpha minus beta. Here you see the value of alpha is 50 degree, value of beta is 20 degree, u is given as 40 meter per second, g is 9.8. So put all these values in this expression for range and we can get the range, that is 118.70 meter. Now as regards the maximum range is concerned, there is condition that if this condition satisfies, that is twice alpha minus beta is 90 degree, that is, but the inclined plane the beta is constant, so only the alpha can change, so that we will get the maximum range. So if for the maximum range the alpha is denoted as alpha star, so that is the angle of projection with the horizontal for having the maximum range. So in this case you see that beta is given as 20 degree, but alpha star we have to find out, that is the particle has to be projected so that we can achieve the maximum range. That expression for alpha star is equal to 90 plus beta by 2, that is 55 degree. That means the particle has to be projected at an angle 55 degree with the horizontal, only then we can get the maximum range. So the maximum range expression, that is R max, is u square g by 1 plus sin beta. So in this case u is given as 40 meter per second and beta is 20 degree. So the maximum range is 121.534 meter. That is the maximum range. Now let us talk about one more numerical and let us try to understand much more about the projectile motion on an inclined plane with the help of this simple example. A particle is projected from a point on an inclined plane with a velocity of 30 meters per second. The angle of projection and the angle of plane are 55 degree and 20 degree to the horizontal respectively, so that the range of the plane is the maximum for the given plane. Find this range and the time of flight. So in this case, here for this numerical, they are asking that so that the range of the plane is the maximum for the given plane. So here alpha is given as 55 degree and beta is given as 20 degree. So the maximum range condition is already given for an inclined plane, that twice alpha minus beta has to be 90 degree. So twice alpha means 110 degree, that is 2 into 55 is 110, minus 20 is 90 degree. So twice alpha minus beta is 90 degree. This satisfies the condition for the maximum range. So for this problem, if the particle is projected with the angle 55 degree with the horizontal and the angle of inclination of the inclined plane is 20 degree, obviously the range will be maximum. So here the velocity of projection u is given as 30 meters per second. The angle of projection alpha is given 55 degree. Angle of plane is beta is 20 degree. Condition for maximum range of the plane is given by twice alpha minus beta, that has to be equal to 90 degree. In this case, alpha is given as 55 degree, beta is given as 20 degree. So twice alpha minus beta, that is 2 into 55 minus 20, that is 90 degree. So it satisfies the condition for the maximum range. So the particle will definitely attain the maximum range. And maximum range we can calculate from this expression. There is maximum range up the plane is given by the equation equal to u square by g divided by 1 plus sine beta. That is, u is given 30 meter per second, g is 9.81, and 1 divided by 1 plus sine 20. So this is 68.36 meter. It is the maximum range. Now let us summarize what we have discussed so far. We have started with the projectile motion when the ball is being thrown at some angle with the horizontal. That is projectile motion when the ball is being thrown with some angle with the horizontal. We have discussed the time of flight. We have also discussed about the range, and we have also discussed about the condition for the maximum range. And you might have seen that if a ball is being thrown just vertically upward direction, definitely it will come back to the original position. It will fall again vertically downward direction. But this motion is known as the motion in the vertical direction, where the acceleration due to gravity plays the main role. And here you see that if you throw the ball directly vertically upward direction, it will definitely follow the same path. But the projectile motion is the motion when the particle is being thrown at some angle with the horizontal. And while watching cricket match, you might have seen that from a long distance the fielder is throwing the ball, and from the long distance it is coming back to the gloves of the wicket keeper. And if you critically observe, you will see that the fielder from the far end will definitely throwing the ball near about 45 degree. That's why it is attaining the maximum range, that is from the point of the fielder to the point of the wicket keeper where he is receiving the ball. And we had also discussed about the projectile motion on the inclined plane. This is different case than the projectile motion when the ball is being thrown with some angle with the horizontal. In the first case, when the ball is being thrown in the horizontal direction with some angle with the horizontal direction, here we have considered the motion in two directions. One is in the horizontal direction, other one is in the vertical direction. While considering the motion in the horizontal direction, we had considered the component of the initial velocity as u cos theta, and it will not be affected with the acceleration due to gravity, because the acceleration due to gravity is always acting in the vertical direction. But in the vertical direction, while considering the motion in the vertical direction, the acceleration the due to gravity will come into the picture, because the acceleration due to gravity will always act in the vertical direction. So while considering the motion in the vertical direction, we had taken care of the acceleration due to gravity g, but in the horizontal direction, while considering x is the displacement, you might have seen that the displacement x is equal to u cos theta into t. But in the vertical direction, we had taken the expression y is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square. But while considering the motion in the inclined plane, we had not considered the component velocity in the horizontal direction and the vertical direction, but we have considered the component of the initial velocity. There are two components. One is along the inclined plane, that is u cos alpha minus beta, because alpha minus beta were the angle between the directions of the initial velocity and the inclined plane, and the other direction is perpendicular to the inclined plane. So while considering the motion on inclined plane, you must see that your two directions for analyzing the motion will be one along with the inclined plane and the other will be perpendicular to the inclined plane, and we can get easily with some algebra the expression for the time of flight, the expression for the range, the expression for the maximum range, and other expressions for the projectile motion. So we had discussed much about the projectile motion. So this topic is part of your physics course and of course from engineering mechanics course. That is the part of the dynamics, that is the second block of engineering mechanics.